founder of Ninth Limb Yoga, captain of IMC Nation, streaming to you from IMC Pegasus here in Las Vegas headquarters, and we're talking about traveling to get women. Man, that's a common topic. Traveling to get women. Eat like Paul. Welcome to the course, brother. I'll see you tomorrow for our orientation. So we're talking about travel to get women because this is like a common thing that I hear from guys. It's amazing. It's baffling, really. And yet, at the same time, I used to be that simple guy. I'm not a simple guy anymore, and I don't do that anymore. That's just obviously when you travel, and there's various biological, psychological reasons why it's easier to get with girls when you're traveling. They're traveling, you're traveling. That's why people go to Vegas. We live in Vegas. But you know, actually, IMC Nation guys, we rarely go places where the tourists are going. So even though when we first arrived here, we were almost a tourist because we were just like, you know, guys from California or from Phoenix or whatever, wherever we were from. And we were here exploring, and so we were looking up and looking out, and like, you know, we had wide eyes or whatever, like a tourist. But we didn't, our eyes actually weren't wide. We always carry our predator eyes everywhere we go. So as we're looking out as hunters, even if we're in a new territory. But we didn't always know where we were going. We had to ask directions and this and that. So the places that we go, IMC Nation here in Vegas, we don't go where there's a lot of tourists. So if you think, because obviously you're following these accounts because of game, guys will deny it. Girls will follow because they're fascinated by what AZD is saying. Guys are fascinated too, but guys, you know, they like the confidence, the charisma, the don't give a fuck attitude. And occasionally when we give a demo or any kind of clip or whatever, and anybody that gets closer and looks closer to what AZD is sharing, it's obvious that that's a guy that gets a lot of beautiful women. More than every man you know combined. That's what it is. Like, I grew up through athletics. I went to a Division I university with big Greek life, fraternity, sororities, big university sports. It was University of Oklahoma. So like football, obviously football, but baseball, basketball, all of their sports. I mean, they take their sports serious. You know, that's what the university's for. So I saw a lot of rich Greek guys, which are, you know, typically white guys, Greek life guys, you know, fraternity guys. And I also saw the athletic celebrity, and sometimes that overlaps, but not too much. And I saw that they got women, and definitely super gorgeous women at that university. I mean, it's Oklahoma, so there's beautiful women there. There's beautiful women from Texas, cheerleaders, Greek girls, you know, the sorority girls, everything. And I saw the kind of what was happening, you know, who got the girls, who got the especially good-looking girls. Okay, it's rare. And then I went to University of Florida. Lots of fraternities, lots of sororities. The school is like 2 or 2.5 times as big as University of Oklahoma, so there's even more beauty. I got involved with salsa, swing dancing, whatever, and occasionally there was an especially hot hottie there. Not always in salsa and swing, not the finest women actually, but pretty fine. They would get up there. And I saw the guys that would get with them, and man, okay, there were some guys that would get with them, but it's like a lot of times those girls are dating guys outside of that circle. They're there for dance or whatever, yoga or whatever, but they're dating some bad boy biker dude that you've never even met that's like 20 years older. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I never saw a guy that got multiple 10s. And the ones that got the 10s, it didn't, you know, it was great at the time because I was worshiping beautiful women, and it was like, oh, that's so amazing that you're getting with a hot chick. But so I wasn't analyzing or perceiving like the guy's conduct. Like, was he an alpha male? Was he leading? Was he righteous, or was he just dealing them drugs or being one of the girls or whatever, especially handsome guy but had no manliness to him? I wasn't measuring the right things. Even though I was already a super tough wrestler, fighter essentially, I wasn't measuring guys in their fighting abilities. I don't know. I just already knew I would kick their ass, but it wasn't like, it's amazing. If I had known what I know now about my fighting abilities since we opened the fighting gym and fighting with all the guys, I mean, all the guys around are tough guys. The IMC guys are tough guys. Like, as far as guys go, they're tough. You know, they have a stronger mindset than the average. They're a better communicator than the average. They've worked out harder than the average guy. Like, they're above average. But in skill level, it's not even comparable. Unless they have some fighting experience, it's just not even the same. So I would be seeing these guys that would get with fine chicks, and I wasn't seeing how they were doing it. And I wasn't, because I was too blind to it. It'd be like a new fighter coming to fighting. Man, they're just like flinching from fists and heads and whatever that's flying at them. They can't be comfortable enough to see the patterns of what's happening, where they see the guy's hips open up before his arm even starts to retract. You know, they see the guy look before he level changes, like he sees the takedown coming before it happens. You know, and so to the guy that has skill with women, you see the seduction before it happens. You see the guy falling over the girl. You see the girl getting interested in the guy. You know, just more and more experience. And it's really amazing. The difference in skill level, I mean, anybody, fighting is a really great analogy, but you could do it in anything. Computer programming, a video game. Take the guy that's the best in the world at whatever video game, and then take someone who's new at it. Shit, take someone that has experience in video games but has never played that video game. He would suck at it. And there's a huge learning curve that he has to overcome. And it's like that with women. Guys, everybody's dating, everybody's trying, everybody has some success, whether that's she said yes, or you know, you actually took her on a date, or you actually got with her, you actually made her your girlfriend. Like, levels of success. Was that the girl you were going for? And you know, everybody's trying to do it. But then there's skill. There's the guy that's been practicing the video game, that's competed with the other top players of that video game, that keeps getting the updated version of that game, knows the whole history of it. You know, the guys that play like Madden or you know, whatever, Madden 24, but it's been playing it since Madden 02 or whatever. And wow, you'll know so much more. So there is really a tremendous, almost impossible to measure difference, a gap between a guy who's been practicing game and a guy who hasn't. At the same time, there are such a thing called naturals. So like in the fighting world, if we were fighting, there's a guy who's very tough, maybe very strong, maybe very fit, maybe very big or very athletically endowed, like balance, speed, agility, coordination, all these things, very natural. And he'll beat a guy that's been training 1, 2, 3, 4 years, like, you know, he'll give a guy a run for his money who's like really good because he's just so athletic. Now, he'll never win a championship on just that, because at the top there's going to be a guy who has learned skill to neutralize that. But he'll get very far. That'd be like a natural player, a guy who gets with girls pretty easily, maybe even find women. Like maybe he's very handsome, or he was just exposed to it very young, had a player role models, you know, like pimps, or just on a very rare occasion like a dad or an uncle that was just like a Mac, you know, really good with ladies. Like, it's very rare, but that's what it is. A ladies' man is very rare. It's not like 1 in 10 or 1 in 100. It's like 1 in 10,000, maybe 1 in 100,000. And then when you're talking with AZD level game, multiple tens that all know about each other, that he's been dating for multiple years, while he picks up new chicks, and sometimes there's a new girl in the mix, and 2, 3, 4 years later, she's a 2, 3, 4-year-old girlfriend. And sometimes they just come and go. And it's like there's a bunch of those, but the old girls know. And the old girls are 10s. They're in their 30s, whatever, 20s. Like, doesn't even matter. I'm just saying, the part that they're fine matters, because that means a lot of guys will go for them. That means winning the championship. Everybody's trying to win that championship. And so maybe 1 in 10,000 guys is like an actual player who gets with like, or actually gets that fine woman, that 1 in 10,000 girl. Because a lot of girls we don't even measure. You know, a lot of girls, they're too young, they're too old, they're too fat, they're too ugly, they're too this, that, whatever. So you're only measuring the ones that even catch your attention. Then the best of those, the best, AZD's got multiple of those. And he doesn't do it with throwing money at them. And he's not that handsome, he's not that famous. Girls would say he's handsome, obviously, but he's tattooed very aesthetically. He tans his body, grooms himself well. I mean, he's a ladies' man, dude. Everything is calibrated to beautiful women. But he's not like genetically superior in any way like that, you know? It's his character. It's how he communicates. It's his awareness of women. It's just his awareness in general. Very witty, very humorous, very intelligent, but not nerdy, not square, not dorky. How to be cool with that intelligence. How to make intelligence cool. You know, when you look on MTV or wherever the fuck, you know, it's like the dumb guy who's like slurring his words, and I don't even know how to talk like him. You know, he skips words, you know what I'm saying? That can't even express himself, but has a tonality and a demeanor and don't give a fuck, like, and he's been put up on a pedestal. Sometimes he's a plant from CIA or Hollywood or whatever, just a control mechanism, like, what would be a good example of that? Miley Cyrus, or there's another one that came to me. Shit, I don't even want to get into it. They're probably all to some degree. They sell themselves out so that they get a record deal lots of marketing behind them, some fake fans to get the ball rolling, and then all of a sudden they're a celebrity overnight. Versus others that, everybody's working hard, but some people take that shortcut, and they become like a plant. And how does that relate to the women game, men and women? 1 in 10,000, whatever. 1 in 100,000, 1 in a million. I don't know how many guys get multiple tens. It's got to be less than 1 in a million. Meaning like 1 in 10 million, 1 in 100 million. There's 100 million guys in America that would be bachelors, that would gladly get with a fine woman, that are old enough and whatever. All the way to the oldest man. Now there's less fine women because every man wants to get with the fine woman, but there's only so many fine women. Fine, like the finest. You know what I mean? First you gotta find them, then seduce them. Then you're with other women, and they are okay with that, even though they have so many options. They have celebrity options, wealthy, rich CEO options, athlete options. They have every option. She's a fine woman, dude. She could take a married man. She can take whoever she comes across. She just got to go out. Everything paid for. Easy. How do you seduce her into turning all that down and going with you, and meanwhile you have 6 others like her? Whoa, dude. People don't... Yeah, Taylor Swift. People don't have a measure of that because you don't even know how to get one fine woman. You don't know what game is. Meanwhile, I'm getting messages from guys, the title of this whole stream, I'm getting messages from guys about traveling, they want to experience women in other parts of the world. Why? Why, dude? Because your dollar goes further there? So that you can act more wealthy and feel what it's like to be a chump? A trick? To just be used for your money by lower educated, lower class females? Foreigners? Wow, dude. Take our American dollars, go over there for their pussy. Exchange your American dollars for their pussy, essentially. That's what you'd be doing in America. You're exchanging dollars. You're wearing the nice clothes. You're exchanging for the car. You're exchanging for the date. You're, who knows, maybe paying her bills or something. You're exchanging something financially. You're compromising making money at the very least to hang out with her. Hanging out with her on a date is not going to make you money. So there's definitely an opportunity cost, but you're probably spending money, even if it's just a little bit. Women cost money. Why are you spending money on a woman? Oh yeah, it's to have sex with her. You like her. Okay. You love her. All right. Never ever have sex with her ever. Let's see how long you are so generous. Going on dates and paying for her. Never have sex with her. Ever. No, of course you're doing it because you want access. You want voluntary access. You want her to just give it to you. You want, if you're a little bit more experienced, that's the thing. Guys that don't have experience, they don't even know what they want because they have no experience. How would they know what they want? The guy with a little more experience wants her to really want him, to live and die for him. Her sole desire is to possess him. Okay, how do you do that? How do you make that happen and with a fine female? Meanwhile, you have other females. And she knows about it. And they all know about each other. Whoa, dude, it's just so far. I have to tell that story 6 different ways on this stream, saying the same point over and over because, guys, you just don't have a reality on it. I'm making a reality for you. Just repeating it from different angles so that it becomes substantial to you. I live with a guy, and I have 3 girls. And they're fine. And I continue getting fine women, and finer, and these women are loyal to me, and it's effortless. I go out of my way 0. And I'm always going out getting chicks, and one has brought me the other, and one has brought me 60 others. 60, literally, 60 others. I keep forgetting to not vape on TikTok. They get a fucking censorship. So this may be the end of the TikTok stream coming up soon. Guys, if you want to go live, I forgot to mention, that's like the best thing to do. Let me ask you some questions about your game. It'll get you thinking. Thoughts on women who offer I don't know what that is. Let me look that up before I say something stupid. Uh-huh. Dude, just tell me what it is. Why isn't it telling me what it is? blah, blah. I don't really know what that is. If you just want to spell it out for me, because I don't know what that is. I don't want to take more time to look it up. Something stupid. Sounds like something that a girl said on video, a female, and it became like a catchphrase for like something sexual. But I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. But if you want to spell it out for me so I don't have to look it up anymore. Guys, on TikTok, Instagram, if you want to go live, YouTube, you can't do that. I'm just checking comments before I continue. Okay, there's a lot of comments over here. Okay, what's up? Germany in the house. Saudi Arabia in the house. What's up? Yes, I need Jesus. Please pray for... Why? What? Bro, you guys are weird. Okay. Alright. Okay, so Super Dan, you can write that out. Guys, request to go live. Okay, so where was I? Traveling. Okay, so why? I don't get it. Can anybody convince me why travel to get women? Please comment your thoughts or ask to go live and tell me why traveling, let's say going to Europe or South America, maybe taking a month or 2 or 6 abroad, maybe even Middle East, not Middle East, Asia, Southeast Asia, like Taiwan or Thailand or something. Or wherever, anywhere, Mars, I don't care. Go there for women. Why leave America? Okay, I think the thing that stops it, gets in the way of my seduction game, is really just not fully integrated. Yeah, I know. You need to be on the daily class. That's why. You're not in... Of course your seduction is not fully integrated. Of course. Otherwise, I feel as I'm very much on that level of awareness needed to navigate. Yeah, maybe you're on the level of awareness to learn, which is good. That's all I can say. Maybe come live. I want to talk with you, Sight Set. Let's talk. Let's talk about how to align your seduction game. I'll help you there. Caesar, when your girl brings you girls, how do those interactions go? I have 2 girls that do that as well, but it's newer to me. Well, that girl in particular did it through a model agency, so she was scouting models and brought models for me to audition. She wasn't there physically when the models came over. She just like handed them over to me, like their phone numbers and stuff. And I wasn't getting with those models, but it is game. And so some of those models do take interest. And that's all it is. I give them a professional opportunity that they're going to make money and they're going to network and they're going to meet high value people for sure. And they get to interact with me for like 30, 45 minutes or something. And then later, if they get hired, then they interact with me more. And so, whatever, sparks fly. One of those 60 girls did become my second girl. So that's how that happened. And then, there's other ways, but that's how it's mostly happened with me. Okay. Super Dan, you didn't finish the comment. Okay, is there anybody out there? And Sight Set, let's go. Let's go. I don't know why you're shy. Let's talk about it, man. What's going on with your game? Why are you so... unaligned, your seduction and everything. Levi. Sight Set. Alright, that's a brave motherfucker right there. Let's do it. Going live. Guys on TikTok, line it up. Comment it if you want to go live. Let's go. Sight Set, that's right. I'm going to go off camera and hit this vape real quick. Right on. What's up, bro? Where are you from?
Australia.
Australia! What time is it there? It's like 9 a.m., 10 a.m.?
7:52.
Whoa, you're way on on Perth. Are you by Perth?
Yeah, Sydney side.
Sydney side, really? Oh, you know what? I'm working off New Zealand time, not Australia time. We got a bunch of guys in New Zealand. A bunch of guys in Australia too, but maybe that's why they don't show up to class, because it's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. when we have class.
Yeah.
So, right on, man. So, let me know a little bit about you. So, you're aware of AZD. Is this like your first time coming across this content before?
I've sort of been looking at it for like 6 months now.
Cool. And
Yeah.
I'm going to take it out of this holder so I can see you better. So 6 months now, and that's been most. See, I had to do that because I thought you had a full head of hair, and when I took you out of the holder, there was no hair there. Okay, so I definitely wasn't seeing you. So all right, so about 6 months, and that's mostly like on Instagram, or have you seen longer videos or any lectures?
Uh, yeah, I've seen lectures on YouTube. I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen his courses, but I've never done any of his courses.
Sure.
He's had a lot from seduction
Yeah.
era when he was back then, like when he was working on the mystery and shit.
That
And,
you knew him way back then?
I wasn't watching him back then.
Oh, but you've been seeing those videos.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so last question until the next one. What other have you ever looked into game? Have you ever learned systems from anybody? Game, seduction, stuff like that, dating, or just free stuff? Basically, whatever guy sees on YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen like Casey Sanders stuff. I managed to get my hands on one of his courses.
Oh, okay.
And
So you invested
that's
into
probably
that
kinda like-
system.
What's that?
You invested into that system, or did you pirate
No,
it?
I actually got it for free.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
There you go. Okay.
It was yeah.
All right. Okay. So that gives me an idea. And then last question. How old are you?
34.
Right on. Okay, so I'm 37, white, from America. You've been on the stream. I traveled a little bit back in the day, whatever. And I found game about 10 years ago. Self-help about 12 years ago, then game. Then after about a year in the game, I came across AZD for the second time. The first time it didn't stick, but the second time it stuck. I bought a program. Then I started training with him. He recommended other guys also, and I was training with Vince Kelvin and Hypnotica also. And then I've also learned many resources from Mystery, Discovery, tons of people. But been a student of AZD's for 9 years, and now I live with him in Las Vegas. We were just in San Jose where he lived, but we moved here a few 4 or 5 months ago, and so that's where I'm at. So what can I help you with today, bro?
Fuck. I think it's just like getting right to my edge. Like I feel these things come up, and I sense these things come up, and then I'm like aware to them. But I think I like just give in too easily. Like I'm just like, oh, there it is, and I just like hand it over.
What are we talking about? There it
Like-
is, like the woman or what?
Like the tension, or the you're reading the room, or you're reading the person, or you're just noticing like subtleties, or you're just not like I'm just not like stepping into that at a masculine frame. I'm sort of like held back. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, if I get this wrong, or whatever.
Right.
Like I'm sort of attached still. So there's like
Totally.
an attachment that I've been dealing with like a mother wound over the last fucking like 5 years, and I went through a divorce.
You've been dealing with a what?
A mother wound?
A mother wound?
Yeah.
Is she dead, or do you
Yes.
mean like you're just?
Oh, no, like an internal fucking complex that like,
Oh, is that how they say it in Australia? A mother wound?
I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do other people say? I've never heard that before.
Oh, true. Okay. Well, it's basically like you had a bad relationship with your mum, and I'm like, fuck.
Got it.
No way.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
All right.
Like,
Yeah.
and
We,
then
we,
I,
we
like,
discovered.
divorce.
We discovered. See, so here's the thing. So IMC Nation has about 200 men on the inner circle, and it's like a mastermind. And then there's even more guys, or a subset of that, like maybe 20 that are on the inner circle that live here in Vegas. There's 30 that live here in Vegas, but only 20 of them have made it to like the innermost circle where they're around AZD all the time as much as they want, kind of thing. And what we discovered, not really by like an official poll, like we didn't give a poll, but through the teachings and conversations and whatever, that every man has to overcome his mom. That's actually holding every man back. Every man. These are players. Every man is held back by his okay. Another thing that was discovered is that a lot of men, probably more than half, and that's more than half of these guys who have invested. They're like you, brother, just a little bit further along, where it's like after 6 more months, 2 more years, 3 more. At some point, you're gonna buy something to learn what somebody has to offer. Or you're going to always be this like dabbler where you're watching YouTube forever and getting 1,000 different opinions about the same subject. And at some point you'll get a teacher and you'll learn. That's what every man has a teacher. And so when you do that, then you'll be one of these guys who's taken it seriously. And over half of these men before they went through these processes that AZD teaches, over half of them hated their mom. And they hated women.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and that was, I was looking around like, whoa. Now, I had already been studying with AZD for 8.5 years. So I'd overcome that in so many different teachings, but it's getting more tightly compact on how to do that. And so yeah, okay. So mom issues, and then you have uncertainty. You're in social situations. You're not quite sure. And yes, that all makes sense. Emotions obscure perception because it makes you not logical, and
Yeah.
then you also need, one of the cool things about a mastermind is when you hear stories, when you hear tales from other guys and their conquests and their failures and their experiences, especially in this realm of you can imagine if we were like in the realm of like stock trading or something, and everybody was masterminding about stock trading and the patterns they recognized and how they failed and they went in too fast or they got out too soon, or this mastermind, and then people dropped off and only the best stayed in the mastermind for years and years. That would be a valuable mastermind to be part of. You would suffer less in the stock trading game if you were part of that mastermind. You'd make less mistakes. You'd recognize things without having to go through it. Well, that's what a game mastermind does with your experience with women. So you hear all these guys and their stories, whatever, and you see the commonness. Everybody is going through this shit because the planet is not in a good condition with men and women. And so women everywhere, that's what the title of the show originally was, Why Travel for Women, or the mindset of traveling to get girls. Because it's the same genetic code everywhere. They're just maybe poorer over there, and so your dollar makes a bigger impact or whatever, and so you can live rich and be a trick, as we call it, where the girl just uses you for money, but you still don't know how to get with women. Like, you don't know how to understand women. You'll be unfulfilled with women. And then, because you're not going to understand why you got the women. Anyway, so, yeah. What do you, I don't know if that even addressed what you were saying, but what do you think about any of that?
I've sort of, I agree, because I think I've been like I recently was traveling, I was out with my mate a lot, and we were sort of like trying to understand this dynamic, and beyond sort of just like what makes it happen, like why can some dudes just walk up and they don't have this opinion in their head and they get stuck in their head, and then all of a sudden it just works for them, and then other guys, they're like in their head too much, but then there's like energy involved, it's like not really spoken about, but it's kind of there the whole time. And I'm trying to like understand energy dynamics between, and just like, I guess I'm like valuing myself more too, because I'm like, well, I don't really just want like flings and shit either. I want high value people in my life, high value women in my life.
Sure.
So that's also changed a lot over the course of like experiencing like where my value is internally, and then like what I'm placing that on what I'm giving that to.
Yeah, so a couple quick questions.
That shifts the dynamic a lot. If I'm starting to put my value on the woman,
yes,
she's going to give me value, then as soon as I fucking do that, it like fucking drops.
Yes, I have a question.
Like, go on. Yeah.
To you, what is a high value woman or women? You say you want high value people in your life, high value women. What is that to you? Can you describe that or define that? To you, it's totally subjective. How would you know? How would you know a woman is high value for you? Be free.
She's fit. I mean, she takes care of herself. She's driven, but she's not like...
Driven?
She's not under like a mask. Like, she's not a bitch who's driven. She's like someone who's just actively involved in her own life. She can communicate. She's, obviously attractive.
Yeah, you said that twice already.
Yeah.
we see what's most important there. Okay, yeah. So, okay. All right. I have one more question about that. This is fascinating. Okay, so what is... I gotta tell you, AZD fucking chews us out. And, I just got thick skin. You know what I'm saying? Because, okay... So, because so at this point, it's almost like, whoa, dude. Okay, so what is driven? What do you mean by driven? I know you said not a bitch and driven, but then what's the positive? Yeah. What do you mean in a you're saying that in a positive way because it's high value for you. So what do you mean driven?
I guess like loyal,
Okay,
I guess
that's different.
like they have their own idea of what they want their life to look like,
Oh,
and they
and that's a high value woman to you, is a woman that knows what she wants her life to look like?
yeah. Otherwise, she just fucks around and takes you for rides you don't want to go on, and
Only if you're following. Only if you're a follower.
True, true.
Yeah, she can't take me on a ride unless I'm following.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, so if you're leading, if you're a
I
leader,
want to be a leader.
because you're obviously a leader, and you know you want to be a leader, and you are a leader, and it's just you will only engage in now the truth is you're not in relationships. You're definitely following, but let's just say that you're gonna go for, because I can tell by your reactions that you are a leader. You just don't know how to do it. So
Yeah.
you're leading. Okay, she's following. Now, what's a high value woman to you if you're a leader?
Someone who listens, someone who lets me lead, someone who is comfortable with me, someone who responds to me when I speak to them, someone who wants to be around me, someone who values me, someone who wants to serve me in the ways that are profitable to my life. And, you know, they can challenge me, but just not in a way that's disrespectful.
That last one, I'll let it go. I mean, that I can see the good in that also. But I'll tell you, man, everything else you said was great. Exactly. That's it. You see how, so when you measure value differently, one was like a man's value. You're measuring her like a man. The other one is a soft, submissive female that does what I says and follows and obeys and this and that and adds to my life and is a good compliment, a counterpart to me. But it came from a leader's perspective. So when you know that that's what you want, then you see what, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'll see if things align with that or not. But you lose yourself in the ocean of social dynamics because you care so much about other people's opinions and you haven't had a solid connection to the divine with yourself, and you have a lot of emotions because you haven't overcome mom and probably dad also, because where the fuck was dad? If mom was abusing you, where the fuck is dad? So we got to overcome dad also. And you know, there's all that. That's part of the. You have so much ability and intelligence in you that is caged up in emotions, and it's being drained. Your intelligence is drained by these emotional barriers that are put up with because of the subconscious and blah 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 blah. Like, we go so far into that, and it's therapy, and therapy doesn't work. So what works is to focus on a man's ability, and obstacles will come up, and you will overcome them, or you won't. But we have enough testimonies and people and success stories that you can overcome it. And some of the ingredients to that are getting involved in the community. And I'm always trying to get guys in Australia and New Zealand and other places in the United States to meet each other. Guys to meet each other. Because when you see in the look of another man that he is drawn to this science and art of social dynamics and relationships and communication, that he values that so highly that, I mean, because you got to value it real highly, because there's so many distractions in life. You don't want your friends knowing that you study game. You don't want women knowing that you study game until you get to a certain level. And it's not that I'm a great pickup artist. It's that I have integrated, like you commented earlier, I've integrated my life so much because that is AZD's game. It's integrated mental concepts, IMC. That I can freely talk about game. I don't lose my relationships, and I even use it to get women. And it's to the point where it's almost a curse, where I'll start teaching a bitch game to get her. And it's like, that's a mistake also. From the highest level I see my mistakes, because AZD is a reference. So, but in the beginning, like, that's how you have to value it so much, because to go through all of the hoops to keep it secret from people, or to manipulate your speech so that you don't offend them or get under their skin about it or this or that, because everybody around you is so touchy about it, and you also are touchy about it, but you're less touchy about it. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a lot to do that. So when you see another man in fucking Sydney, we got a couple guys in Sydney that he's on that path too, man. And then when he's within IMC, that's another level, because you can meet guys from other dating companies or whatever. They're so different from you, and they're all so weak because all of those coaches are weak. You gotta look up every dating coach on earth. Just go through them all and then compare to AZD. Don't even look at that he has 7 super hot girlfriends and that other dating coach doesn't. Just compare their ability to speak, their certainty, their confidence, over and over and over. For how many years have they been like that? And that's that. What you know, we're in the internet age, so there's no need to learn from anybody other than the best. The best in the world is available, you know, right there. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about? I know I tend to just with all my speech or whatever, and you take it really well. And I know it's early morning, but what do you think about any of that?
The thing that stood out to me was that you noticed that the initial description was more this other way, and then when I really sat back a bit and thought about the second description of a high value woman, my whole vibe changed when I talked about it that way.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's not because you just sat back. It's because I changed your perspective. You went at it with your original pattern perspective. Then I said, if you were the leader and she were following, what would be a high value woman? And I didn't just say that out of a mental exercise. I did it because you gave me the indicators on your face. And you know how you said when you went in a room, you're not sure about what to do or whatever? When you learn game from ACD, you see indicators, positive and negative indicators in people, their face, eyes, everything, in ways that are not in books, that other people don't know this stuff, because if they did, they'd have multiple relationships with fine women, because that's what men want. So they're actually not that good at reading body language. So I saw in you positive indicators when I talked about leader. And so I could tell you want to be a leader. So I put you in that perspective. If you were leader, she were follower. Now from this perspective of leader, what is high value to you? So you shifted perspective, then your perception of value changed.
That's gold.
Yes, sir.
That's gold.
And then you sat back and thought about it. So you changed perspective and then sat back and thought about it.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That's that mental gymnastics. I think that you know, if you can shift perception, that shifts everything. So, you know, if you're coming in this mindset, like if I came in with that mindset before and was trying to play game, like I'm just going to lose.
That's why it's all inner game. It's all, AZD is just teaching mindset. And then the techniques come out when he tells us stories about this chick or that chick, or someone else tells it's called like an infield report or whatever. They talk about their dates or their pickup or whatever, even a relationship problem. Yeah, Isaac is on. That's who commented. It's all perception. Like he's an hour from Vegas, so he's met AZD in person a couple times now because we just moved here. So it's all mindset, because when you're in the right mindset, bro, I did not need to tell you what a high value woman was. You came up with perfect answer that would have warmed the heart of any man listening. Because it was genetic. It was the genetically right answer. You came up with the answer from the right mindset. If you have the right mindset, you will game more properly than not. Then you learn some new techniques, because there has been the pickup artist and the player has hacked the relationship. What gestures, what timing, what to say, this and that has more positive effects, just like a martial artist. But you got to have a positive mindset first. Otherwise, that's where women feel manipulated. Because then you use techniques to get in her pants, but you're really a low-value guy because you have a low-value mindset. You just learn the tricks to make her fooled. So you're not going to have multiple beautiful women like that. AZD is the real deal. You got to be the real deal all the time. Earlier, 3 or 4 of his girlfriends were downstairs. They were watching film. He was teaching them business or something. I don't really listen, but like it was something about sales, because they teach women. They don't interact with men. They completely cut off other men. They only make their money teaching and selling services, tattoo and eyelashes and whatever, to women. That's how unplugged he's pulled his women. They're not real estate agents and fucking bartenders or whatever, like in the world. My women are still in the world. A waitress, a model, and some other bitch that just works at a fucking office in Silicon Valley or whatever. Around a bunch of guys, dorks, but you know, they're still in the world like that.
Yeah.
But AZD's he's not paying their rent. He teaches them how to make money selling their beauty and their services to women. Their charisma, their yoga, their fitness, their mindset. His girlfriend, has been with him for 18 years, and so she teaches mindset. Obviously, she's been with him 18 years. And she was a virgin when she got with him. 18-year-old virgin. One of the last few ones on earth. And she's a 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's just, I tell you all that, not just for you, brother, because I know there's TikTok going and YouTube or whatever. I gotta emanate the message so that you get reality. It sounds too good to be true, but the dude is just, second place is so distant that it's like comparing Usain Bolt to a cheetah. It's so far, and then Usain Bolt's a human, so he's the fastest, and there's others that are kind of fast like him, but they're not even comparing to a cheetah. That's AZD.
Yeah.
But it sounds too good to be true, like, oh, it's a marketing gimmick. Man, I'm willing to do whatever. I record him infield. I go live all the time talking about it. I take testimonies. Like, my job is to get the message out because that's how I get better at the game. Because AZD originally was Arash Dibazar when I met him, and he was just a spokesman for himself. You know, to be able to talk about your own game and to help guys and to get and have the certainty was part of the path for him to get so good at game. It's one thing to get good with women. It's another thing to teach other guys how to get good with women. You start to understand what you're doing a lot more, and then you get better at it. Teaching gets better at it. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, 100%.
So I'm just following.
I think that was like the thing that made it a little, because I sort of started looking into stuff, and I started like experiencing it myself firsthand. And I think that is the thing, you know, like what AZD's been doing for years and years and years, and obviously had the access. You know, he's just been refining that again and again and again and again for years.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
He's got, like, you know, I don't really hear anyone else talking about the sort of the spiritual level that he's at with game. You know, game.
Because they don't got it.
It's kind of just is like, you know, it's just, I don't know, cheesy lines and, you know, mystery method and stuff. And like, that's all good. That works. But like, if you don't have this extra level game that AZD talks about with like what you're talking about with the perceptions and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're already losing.
Yeah, because that other game doesn't really work. It'll only work.
No.
You might be able to have sex with a beautiful woman if you got really good at it, but they crash and they can't keep women. So it doesn't really work. Like you said, you're at a stage of your life where you just don't want to have a fling. Well, a 1-year relationship is kind of like a fling. So is a 5-year relationship. AZD's not even so sure that all his girls won't leave him, but he has 2 of his 7 girlfriends have been with him 14 years and 18 years. It's a long, and they're 10s. And they've seen other girls. The next one is like 7 or 9 years or something has been with them. So it's like, that's actually working. I actually don't think that other guys that teach game, I don't actually think that what they teach works because none of them have working relationships. So what could possibly be working about their game?
It's like temporary game.
Exactly. Which you might as well go buy a prostitute. That's temporary game too. You might make her fall in love with you if your dick are good.
Hey.
That's a game too. People play that game.
It's true, man. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to type it, bro. Oh, there's guys, people asking to go live over here. I have a meeting in 15 minutes, everybody. So, brother, what's stopping you from joining the training with AZD? It's $97 a month. Is it? Do you not see the value for you right now? Is, you know,
Oh, the value's there. I just moved and shit, so it'll probably be like next month or so. I'm really keen on it, to be honest.
Next
I know there's a lot of
month?
resources there.
You just because you just moved? Why, you don't want to watch a lecture today?
Oh, no, I mean, just money-wise.
Oh.
I'm broke at the moment.
Okay, well, so 97, you have 97 lying around somewhere, or, you know, a credit card or something?
Maybe next week. Maybe next week, man.
All right, man. Are you going on any dates in the next 7 days? Are you going to go out at all? Are you going to interact with women? Are you going to take a woman on a date? Are you going to go meet up with friends into the bar?
Most likely, I mean, possibly, yeah.
Well, how do you have money for that?
Well, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just go off manifestation and I just go free.
Well, yeah, but so do you think you're going to spend any money in the next 7 days or the next month?
Definitely the next 2 weeks. I had to. I put all my money in some other shit this week, so I gotta be next pay.
All right. Well, just keep that in mind, that you'll be spending money on women or on trying to get women. Going to the fair, going to the market, going to this or that. You're going to spend money on that instead of learning how to get with women. And
without money.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. You know, like the game, when you learn game, it's one of those things that it is an investment in yourself. Because if you apply it, you'll always do better with women.
Definitely.
And you save yourself a lot of suffering. Remember the mastermind analogy of stock trading, right? You could knock up a girl in the next 7 days if you get drunk and fuck her.
Yeah, yep.
and then it's the wrong chick. And then let's see how much money you have to invest in learning game.
Good point.
You know, because you have lust. And you would do that. You would compromise your future for that because you have lust. You got to overcome that. If you want to have multiple relationships like AZD, and maybe you don't, but from the top of the mountain, the monk at the top of the mountain is saying, you don't have to climb all the way up here, but from here I'll tell you that you got to overcome lust if you want to have perfect relationships with women. And I'm telling you, the only way to have 7 tens that all know about each other, and a few of them for over 10 years, the only way to have that is to have perfect relationship dynamics. There's not infighting. There's not bickering. He knows how to communicate and lead a woman. Yeah. So that maybe you don't want 7 girlfriends, but he's teaching how to have perfect relationships.
I have to be able to handle them all first. You know, you gotta
that's the thing. Yeah, you don't. There's no handling. You handle yourself.
Yeah.
You handle yourself, and there's a lot that you aren't aware of about yourself and your inner workings yet. And that's, I mean, because I'm still a student. So 9 years later, I'm still watching the lectures and learning. I learned so much this morning. You know what I mean? And so that you're like, well, why do I want to go into something that's going to take me 9 years to get good at? Bro, I have a PhD, so I was in school for 12 and a half years. A lot of guys have black belts around here. How long did it take to get a legit black belt and become a master of something? You know what I mean? And the game, man. Yeah, it's one of those things that it's not just about the money. It's what mistakes would you make from now until then. Who knows? It's like once you know to wear a seatbelt, but then you go another 7 days because, man, it's just uncomfortable and I'm going to have a shoulder pad. I ordered a shoulder pad so that it doesn't hurt my shoulder when I wear the seatbelt because it always has friction there. And, you know, the next 7 days you could have an accident that's like, oh, fuck, if I had just been wearing my seatbelt.
I just done this thing. Fuck, yeah, no, I get it. It's right on, man.
Right on, bro. I look forward to having you in the class. When you join, you'll get... you'll be redirected to a YouTube. It's a 15-minute YouTube of me that describes the evolution of his teachings. So that you'll be right up to speed with us. Now, I won't be giving the teachings. There's no way I could. But it'll tell you so that you'll get this history. Like you were watching old Seductive Instinct videos and him and Mystery and whatever. Like, I don't quite go that far back, but a few years forward. And then from there on, basically when I came around, I give a 15-minute video of that. Then... you'll also be able to book a call with me, a Zoom call. Because right now you're very brave, right? You're the first person and the only person, because I got to go after this, after I read all these comments, that went live with me. So on the Zoom call, it's one-on-one. So we can really get personal. It's not a public stream, you know what I mean? You could be authentic and I can ask you some straightforward questions about shit. And that'll help you because I'm like a librarian almost, or scribe. I know where everything that AZD's done is. And so I can direct you to what to study for what I'm perceiving. I'm like a minister of this stuff. So that all happens when you sign up, and that's just for the first month, 97, and then it's a recurring month-to-month thing. Daily lecture, you get an email with the Zoom link, and if you miss it because it's 3 a.m. for you, then all the recordings are uploaded and, you know, keeps track of them, so you just pick up where you leave off kind of thing.
Okay.
Righteous, bro. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too, man.
This ain't no McDonald Happy Meal fast food joint. Yes, right on. Get on the program, bro. Yeah, you too, Urok. Jesus. Urok, get on the program. Isaac, talk to this Urok guy. Yo, much respect, lads. Just my 2 cents. What you find attractive? What do you mean? In guys or girls? Bees are attracted to pollen flowers and flies are attracted to shit decay. Definition is key, I suppose. Definition is very key. Because in AZD's way of speaking, you're still split screen with me, by the way, so I don't know if you knew that, but I still hear you. You're like, you're giving acknowledgments to what I'm saying. I'm hearing, yeah. I'm like, so I don't know how to end that. Let's see. Oh, remove right there. Cool. Hopefully that just removed him from the split screen and not from the whole stream. Sorry if it removed you from the whole stream, bro. So what was I saying? Yeah, definitions are very important. You know, on one end, you take advantage in seduction and just with women in general. This guy is obsessed with Dragon Ball Z. Hell yeah! Dragon Ball Z. I have the theme song in my playlist. It's Isaac. So, it's both. On one end, you take advantage of double speech and innuendos and the nature of the English language which is a lot of like homophones and vagueness and shit in the language. It's just like you can get away with double speak and sexual talk and whatever without being literal, and that is seductive. That also shows intelligence. That you'll pick that up as you listen to AZD because he naturally talks in that way. He's a master of seduction, bro. He's a 1 in 10 billion guy. Like 5 minutes with him is worth so much. 5 seconds, just the way he acknowledges and looks in your eyes when he talks to you, you'll feel, oh, this is a fucking ladies' man. It's like beyond what you've experienced. And, so on one end, the obscurity of definitions can play to your advantage if you know how to use it. But on the other end, to really have self-mastery, to take it literal and take very serious your personal evolution and development and self-mastery, you will need to learn the exactness of language. To lead a high-value woman for many years, you will need to learn the exactness of language so that you know exactly what she's saying when she says it this way or that way, what she's meaning, and it's doing this, rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time, because you got to know, what is she meaning when she's saying this other thing? She's never saying what she means. It's hard to believe, guys. You think I'm just like exaggerating and make fun of women or whatever. They just never say what they mean. It's just, how could I be more truthful about it? What goes up must come down. What goes up must come down. A woman never says what she means. It's like that, okay? But you can go ahead and not believe what I'm saying and think that I'm misogynistic or whatever, but good luck. Good luck to you in dating. Okay, everybody? So, totally agree about language, both verbal, physical, is in body language. Brother! Man, I wish I had time to go share screen with you. Is there some reason why you're not on the daily classes with AZD, man? Yurok Imok. Yurok Imok. Are you just discovering AZD? Have you not, considered it? Are you not aware that I'm just a messenger for AZD? This is an account for AZD, the guy with all the face tattoos, bald guy, like me, but not face tattooed yet. And, he's a player, multiple girlfriends, he has a daily class. You guys are invited to daily class. You know what I mean? I could show you. Show me what? Show me what? Guys, I gotta go. So, I've been on the path for some time now. Right on. So, what is the path? Brother, you want to just go live? You want to just stream? Or we can talk later if you can't stream right now. But just request to go live right now. If you use cans. Alright, he's coming on. What's up, Yurok?
Are we up? Hey, story boy, story. Fucking, my phone is about to die. It's like around 5%, so I might cut off.
Cool, I actually only have 5 minutes, so that's perfect.
Fucking hey, perfect.
Where are you from, bro? And how old are you?
I'm in Ireland. Like but I'm not Irish. I've been like, what's it called? I'm from around it. My story is like a mix of.
How long you lived in Ireland?
Places. Oh, 20 years now.
Okay, got it. Yeah, you're an immigrant, but you are Irish, basically. You have an Irish dialect. Your accent is Irish to me.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because
that's what I'm using on the daily basis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And how old are you?
It's 30. I'm 30.
Right on. Okay, cool. All right, so you're telling me that you can show me and that you've been on the path for some time now? What do you mean?
Yeah, like, fucking, why I'm not signed to the program. Let me show you there. See all those little trophies. It takes time.
What are those?
To get them. Those are caps. No cap, right? But, yeah.
Like beer bottles or what?
No. It's a long way to the top, like... you got to build your wall brick by brick.
So that's why you're not on the program? Because you're gluing caps?
You might not get it, but that's what it is.
Well, you could just be listening to the classes while you do that. You know that?
Yeah.
But you don't want to do that? Well, yeah. I mean, it's really just about a guy who wants to get good at game. Like, how's it going with women, bro? How's dating going?
It's going okay.
Yeah? Do you have a girlfriend?
Not at the moment. I have a
All right.
friend.
Okay, you got some
I have a friend.
girlfriends, like you have friends that are girls?
Yeah.
But none of them want to possess you as their man?
Uh, this yoke, this thing possesses me.
That possesses you. So you're unavailable to these women. So a woman could not possess you because you're possessed of your art. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right on.
I've like, what's it called? A higher calling, a purpose, or
Yeah.
fixation.
So let me ask you.
You know?
Yeah, that's great. I admire that. What is so what brings you to the account? You follow the account, you join the live, like you like the information, right?
Yeah. You say some interesting stuff, like, and I do. I'm gluing this stuff and I'm listening to whatever you're saying.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting stuff.
Oh, is this your first time seeing me or this account, or were you following the account already?
No. Fucking, I don't know. When was I saw you? Around a month ago.
Oh, right on. Okay, so you're new. So, and you know that I live with this guy who has all the face tattoos and everything, right?
Yeah.
Right on.
The gist of the story, right?
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, well, just keep watching. All his clips, that guy is known as the player of all players. I live with that guy. He's got all these girlfriends. They're all super fun, and it's through skill. So we don't put his girlfriends out and like publicize them like that. They're his girls. You know what I mean? But the charisma.
Of course, there's the
Yeah.
privacy,
It's all the other things, guys. So guys are attracted to like the charisma, the certainty, sometimes the wisdom or the clever quotes or things that we chop up his lectures and put out these sound bites, and so you're attracted. But just know that all of that is coming from a guy who he's so charismatic, he's so good at talking because he's a player among players, and that's where it comes from, was his ability to relate with women, and. So you're a month into it. You've seen it for about a month. So I'll talk to you for, the next 10 years, and let's see how your awareness will change as you watch more and more of what he does. Because he's not a regular guy. Just like you're not a regular guy. Imagine the world's best artist of caps. They make the best. Man, it's so lifelike. It's so transcendent. It's beautiful. It's big. It's perfect. It's the world. Nobody could compare. That's what AZD is with women.
Let's see what happens in the next 10 years. Because like
Yes.
you said in the comment, this isn't like the Maccabees, you go in, order some burger, and you get it like...
Yeah.
It's like, now you have to get on the picture. No.
Nah.
We want that homemade cooked stuff.
Oh, man. Yeah, you got it, bro.
Like, once you know, you know. Like,
All right,
like,
listen, man. This is great. Remember, this is our first talk ever, so I don't think it's going to be our last. I have a meeting I have right now. I got to go, everybody. Thanks for a great stream. I'll see you on the next one. Os.
Yo, bless.
Bless.